All right, good morning. Welcome back to Everyone Can Code. Daily videos helping you become a professional software engineer. Now, today we're following up on our constraints video. Now, the question that was asked in the comments was, can you talk about priorities, hugging priority, multipliers, compression resistance? And yes, as I said, you ask a question, we'll answer it. So let's jump back over to our little demo that we started yesterday. You can see where we left off with our equal widths constraints. So let's change this up a little bit here. Instead of just plain views, let's introduce a label. A label is interesting because it actually has some sort of an intrinsic content size. Now, let's shrink the device here to help us actually see its behavior in action. So the intrinsic content size is the intrinsic size it will take to fit the content of the text. So let's copy and paste this a whole bunch of times. Okay. Oops, I hit escape instead of enter. So here you go, whole bunch of text, right? Now you can see intrinsically it wants to go all the way over here. And even if I shrink it, nothing really happens. It dots. And that's because we need to have on the number of lines, which is, let's see, I always lose it right here. Oh, you're right behind the camera. I can't see. Ugh. There you go, perfect. Okay, number of lines. Now the cool thing here is that you can actually change the number of lines based on the width of it. And again, that's because there is some content here that has an intrinsic size to it, but we can still manipulate the size. Now, in the previous video, you remember that we can set some left, right, top, bottom constraints. So let's go ahead and set these here. We're not going to set the bottom constraint. We're not going to set a width and height constraint. And that's because, ba-boom, as you can see, labels have an intrinsic content size, which means that if you provide 3 of the 4 sides with their constraints, it can automatically figure out the 4th. So in this case, automatically is going to figure out the height, so whatever it takes to wrap the text, and it's going to fit perfectly. So now the question here is, let's see, did I clear out the constraints? Let's clear the constraints. Okay. So now the question is, what happens if we have 2 labels that are fighting each other for space? So let's set up a little experiment here. So let's go with 0, 0, 0, and then add those 3 constraints. You can already see the problem starting to manifest. So 0, already have a constraint to the left because the previous label had that set up, and 0. And now we've got ourselves a whole bunch of problem. Everything's turning red. And the reason is because they both have equal compression resistance. Now, compression resistance is if you have a situation like this where 2 things are fighting for the same amount of space, which one wins? So if we take the right one and we take its horizontal compression resistance up 1 notch, so it's 751, you can see that the other label has been squished down to nothing because it completely lost the fight. 750 versus 751. The 751 completely wins the fight, squishing it down. Now, this maybe becomes more interesting if we go to a bigger size. Yeah, there you go. You get a screen size that's real big, and you can kind of see, okay, this one, now because it has all the space it needs to intrinsically fit its content, or to fit its intrinsic content, it's done growing. It's not going to take the whole space, and so then it leaves out, or it leaves over whatever space is left for this other label. So that's how compression resistance works. It's when you start squishing, it's which one gives in first. Now, in some cases, maybe you want this to be like an image and a label side by side, where the label squishes before the image resizes or something like that. And there's lots of different use cases for this, but it's going to be with something that has an intrinsic content size, like an image or some text. Now, since we're here, let's talk about this other one right here, which is the hugging priority. So let's inverse this situation here. And let's change this text to just label. And let's change this text to just label. And now you'll see no error, but it has sort of picked an interesting choice, and that's to squeeze one all the way to the right. Now, let's go back, since we're just editing this one. This is the one we edited previously. You can see it still has the 751 as the compression resistance. Let's also make it the lower priority for hugging. So if I tick that down, and then let's make these equal. There we go. Okay, so if their compression resistance is the same and the hugging priority is different, it will shift which one it squeezes up next to. So let's say, for example, you've got a label and some text, or some text and an image next to each other, and you want the image to resist being stretched. So it's kind of the opposite way of thinking about it. If you want the image to resist being stretched, then you would give it a higher content hugging priority. If you want the text to resist being stretched, you give it the higher content hugging priority. So these two are just inverses of each other. One of them is in a stretch situation with two things that have an intrinsic size, which one gets squished or which one gets stretched. That's all these two are. Now, the other thing that was mentioned in the previous video was, let's make sure the constraints are happy here before I move on. Missing trailing constraint. I don't think we actually care. Because the other cool thing that you can do, that's got to be an Xcode bug. There's no reason why that matters. So in this case, it's saying it doesn't have a trailing constraint, and it doesn't need one because labels both know their width and their height. So in this case, because there is no constraint on its width, it'll just go on forever in one direction. And we can actually show this by pasting label a whole bunch of times. You can see it just grows that way because we don't have anything preventing it. So I don't know why Xcode's complaining there. Now let's go in here. Let's grab an iPhone-sized screen. So the question is, since we're missing a width constraint, and that's the question was about multipliers, let's add a width constraint. So the width constraint, let's make it, I don't know, 300. Okay, so now it has a proper constraint, and apparently Xcode's still complaining, so that really makes me think it's a bug. So now it has a constraint, and the question was, what about, so we have constants, but what about multipliers? So in this case, you don't have one, right? Because it's not going to show you one at least. I wonder if it'll let me actually add one. No, it won't. Okay. So in this case, it's like, okay, you know, fixed width, there's no need for a multiplier here. What actually is happening is there is a multiplier, and the multiplier is 1. And so the width ends up being 300 times 1, which is sort of like a weird thing, right? Well, let's take this. Let's do a view, for example, just a regular UI view, and show you a place where you can actually use multiplier in a way that makes more sense and isn't just hidden by the UI. So let's grab a better background color. And now this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to constrain it to the label and to the left edge. And let's constrain the height. Okay, that's pretty good. Now we're going to control drag up to this label. Notice I'm control dragging diagonally so I get all of the options. And I'm going to say equal width. Now you'll notice that they're not actually equal widths. And that's because Xcode has been smart and it says, oh, what you actually had was widths that were 1.38 times bigger. So if, let's say, for example, I come in here and I delete the constraint on the width, this one right here, the 300, you can see that the view, the pink view, has grown to be 1.38 times bigger than the label. let's select this constraint. Let's make it a nice even 2. That's easier to reason about. And then let's come in here on this label and let's edit the text to just be label. And you can see that it is twice as big as the label itself. So you can see, whoop, draw a line right there, and this is twice as big. And you can use multipliers for all sorts of things, right? So you can use a half-size multiplier to make it even smaller. And so you can use this, there's all sorts of things like, maybe you've got a situation where you need a view to be contained within a view, or to like wrap around it in some way. So you can use multipliers for lots of interesting things. Nothing's coming to me off the top of my head, but there's it's definitely one of those that you should know, and I've definitely had come up in regular day-to-day job use. So that's how you use multipliers. That's how you use content hugging and compression resistance priorities to control things within intrinsic content size and how much they grow and shrink. Okay, hope you enjoyed this daily video. Come back tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe, share this with other people if you found it useful. And of course, if you're trying to become a software engineer, this is the place to learn. We're going to continue making these videos, walking you through all the way from basics to advanced stuff to help you become a software engineer. All right, thanks. We'll catch you later. See ya.